What if the light that guides ships also draws the spirits of the lost? Lighthouses are symbols of safety, their beams cutting through the darkness to guide ships safely to shore. But these towering beacons often come with eerie tales of isolation, tragedy, and spirits that seem bound to their rocky perches. From ghostly whispers to mysterious disappearances, the dark mysteries of old lighthouses have captured imaginations and chilled spines for centuries. We begin our journey in Florida, home to the St. Augustine Lighthouse, a historic landmark with a dark reputation. Built in the late 19th century, this lighthouse is famous for its tragic past and the spirits who seem to linger. One of the most well-known stories involves the PT children, daughters of a worker who helped build the lighthouse. While playing near a construction cart, the cart unexpectedly moved, plunging the girls into the water below. Though efforts were made to save them, the tragedy claimed their lives. Visitors to St. Augustine have reported hearing the sound of children laughing and playing near the tower. Some even claim to see shadowy figures darting across the grounds or standing at the top of the lighthouse. Others report hearing footsteps echoing in the spiral staircase when no one else is there. Whether it's the spirits of the PT children or something else, St. Augustine's lighthouse remains a beacon, not just for ships, but for mysteries from the beyond. Next, we head to the rugged Oregon coast, where the Tillamook Rock Lighthouse, nicknamed Terrible Tilly, stands as a symbol of isolation and peril. Built on a jagged rock over a mile from shore, Tilly earned its nickname from the relentless waves that pound its base and the tragedies tied to its history. One infamous tale involves the wreck of the Lupacia in 1881, just before the lighthouse was completed. A violent storm drove the ship into the rocks, and all aboard perished. Their spirits are said to haunt the lighthouse, their cries carried on the ocean wind. Keepers of Terrible Tilly often spoke of the psychological toll of working in such a desolate, storm-battered location. Eerie occurrences like objects moving on their own or unexplained cold spots were common. After its decommissioning in 1957, the lighthouse became a columbarium, a place to store cremated remains. If it wasn't haunted before, it certainly has all the makings now. Now, let's journey to Scotland and the windswept Flannan Isles, home to one of the most mysterious lighthouse tales of all time. In 1900, 3 keepers at the Ailey and Moore Lighthouse vanished without a trace. When a relief crew arrived to check on the keepers, they found the lighthouse in perfect order, except for the eerie absence of its staff. The clock had stopped, the lamps were cleaned and ready, and a meal sat untouched on the table. Despite extensive investigations, no one has ever discovered what happened to the men. Theories range from rogue waves sweeping them out to sea to something more supernatural. Some visitors to the island claim to hear disembodied voices calling out for help or feel an inexplicable sense of dread while exploring the area. Crossing the Atlantic, we find ourselves in Canada at the Gibraltar Point Lighthouse in Toronto. Built in 1808, it's one of the oldest surviving lighthouses in the country and one of the most haunted. Legend has it that the first keeper, John Paul Radlmuller, met a tragic end after an argument with soldiers stationed nearby. Though his death is shrouded in mystery, some say his spirit never left the lighthouse. Visitors report hearing footsteps in empty halls, seeing a figure in period clothing at the top of the tower, and feeling an overwhelming sense of unease. The keeper's spirit seems determined to watch over his lighthouse, even in the afterlife. Our final stop brings us to Maryland's Point Lookout Lighthouse, a building with a history as dark as its shadowy hallways. During the Civil War, the area served as a hospital and prisoner of war camp, and it's said that the suffering and death from that time left a lasting mark. After the war, the lighthouse became a hotspot for ghostly activity. Visitors and staff have reported seeing spectral figures in Civil War-era clothing, hearing faint voices and footsteps, and even smelling phantom pipe smoke. One of the most famous apparitions is said to be a woman in white, often seen wandering the grounds. Which haunted lighthouse would you dare to visit? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed exploring these spectral tales, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Netherworld Nook channel for more stories of the eerie and unexplained. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.